the re-emergence of true money. Of course, we said earlier that the market for 6,000 years has always determined, or in most cases, has always determined that pure gold and pure silver is the free market money of choice. Governments came along the scene, they started to regulate the way the market worked, they then monopolised the actual production of money, then they removed the value from the money altogether. People suddenly realised what had happened and they went into a crisis mode. Here am I putting all my labour to the natural resources within this economy, but now the money that reflects the value of my life's work is now losing its value. I don't want this money anymore. How can I store my value in a safe and sure and secure way? And straight away they remember, pure gold and silver has always been the way that we've been able to store our value, store the value of our life, store our labour, store the wealth that's represented within the free market that we work in every day, and know that tomorrow my labour has been well and safely and securely stored for another day. So the final step, as I say, in this 7th cycle of money, 7-part life cycle of money, is in fact the re-emergence of gold and silver itself. Well, now you've just seen the 7 steps in the life cycle of money, and remember what I said earlier, this is the very same life cycle that's played itself out through thousands of years in every major empire, civilization and society in the entire history of man walking the planet. So now what does it all mean for you and me? And it's a great question. Here today in the year 2010, as we look around the world, we're seeing market crises, systemic institutional failures. All of this is demonstrating that we're already clearly in step 6, which is confidence crises and collapse. And what we're going to see in the days ahead is that this is going to accelerate. The systemic crises and the financial stress and pressures in the global economy are just going to increase as we move further and further into step 6, which is confidence crisis and collapse. In other words, the crisis is going to start to accelerate, and we'll start moving into step 7, which, as you remember, is the re-emergence of free market money, of course, which has always been gold and silver, as we've said. In fact, the very fact that gold and silver prices are up over more than 400% in the last few years clearly demonstrates that we're already starting to move into this final stage in the life cycle of money, re-emergence of gold and silver. Now what this means for us, and this is the exciting part for all of us in the Unique Gold Tribe, and that is the fact that we've said for many years now that those people that are correctly positioned will participate in the largest wealth transfer in all of human history. So when we're positioned prior to stage 7 or step 7 really starting to happen in earnest, then we're going to be able to be participating in this wealth transfer because we're going to be rightly positioned at the right time. That's the exciting thing for you and me. As Unique Gold Tribes, we've already got businesses established in this sector. We're perfectly positioned to profit as people start to rush into step 7 or stage 7. Think about this other factor. In today's markets, if you look at all the different asset and market types, like for example investment banking, equity markets, share markets, insurance markets, derivative markets, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of assets measured in paper. Take against that, in the entire history of man walking planet Earth, we've mined less than $10 trillion of gold and silver. If you look at all the gold and silver ever mined, less than $10 trillion. So on one side we've got hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets in paper which are going to start suffering this confidence crisis and collapse and accelerate into that, and against that we've got just less than $10 trillion in today's prices of gold and silver. In other words, there's just not enough of it to go around to satisfy this step or this stage when people start rushing into gold and silver and it starts to re-emerge as the only form of value that people want to protect themselves. There's just not going to be enough of it. So we are perfectly positioned to partake in the largest wealth transfer in all of human history. Thanks for joining us. I look forward to seeing you on a future Wealth Sense.